Hey guys, welcome back to D&D with Filthy and Friends. Quick recap of last episode. We decided, we spent some time deciding which way we're going to go, and then we picked what would be hardest on the DM. And then here we are in an area we told him we weren't going to this time, and now we're down here. We're exploring the depths of the damp cult to figure out what they're hiding in their moist bosom and what we can do about it. So we just fought some water elementals. They tried to drown Tim. Almost worked, but the quick actions of young Dolphidius saved his life. Barbarian magic, who would know? But that's where we're at. So, all right, I
guess one thing just out of character, there are water elementals here. We have a trident which requires attunement that could command water elementals. Maybe we're like, oh, this is something we need to prepare better for.
Yeah.
We go to the spire, where Adam has prepared.
I was thinking we just go west where there's less water.
Okay, sure.
I was thinking, look behind the waterfall.
Ooh.
Because in character, that's where all the cool stuff is hidden.
It's like a sheer cliff. You can see the cliff. See down at the bottom, there is like some very strange looking flora, fauna, coral kind of glowing with this sort of iridescent. There's like hues of blue and green, and then there's like a shine of pink and then red. And for a moment, you seem slightly mesmerized just by its color, but nothing else apart from that.
Let's take advantage of these combat buffs and do it in combat time as we scout. So, if no
Just
one
keep in
moves
mind
right
that Thaddeus is spending a turn off recovering from haste in
Well, not-
7 turns.
That's correct. But right now he's on turn 2, right? So he's finished
Yep.
turn 2 of it. It ticks on your turn, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm timing it.
Okay. So
We almost lost Tim to the moist nether regions.
yep.
Oh, I had a trick or
Some
two up my
moist
sleeve still.
nether
Don't worry about that. I navigate moist nether regions quite well.
Mm.
regions. Dolphidius stops himself from clapping.
Let's do southwest next. It's far away from water, and then maybe we get a rest later and can attune ourselves to that blade.
Okay, so how you want to move in combat time? Do you want me to bring up a turn order? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Or-
Turn order would be helpful because we just want to
You
keep
guys-
these buffs.
You guys just roll initiative.
Well, we can just
again.
use the one we had before. It
Or
was,
yeah, whatever. If you
Well,
remember
yeah.
what you had.
I do. It was Dolphin,
Yeah, it's 14.
Tim, Thaddeus, me.
I
But
was-
it's currently my turn. At the end of the second round.
All right, so hang on.
I don't mind just re-rolling. It's fine with me. Whatever's easiest.
I think Tim and I shared one, and it was
12.
fixed by Dex.
So
Dolphin had
Tim,
18.
Thaddeus, Chakolth, and it's Chakolth's turn.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. I am moving this way. I guess that would be 10, 20. I can't see where I'm going at him because stuff.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So you end your turn there. Okay.
Not quite.
You roll.
Okay.
Go on.
Go ahead. So I'm halfway there.
So you
I'm
roll
moving-
perception.
Sure.
So you enter a low, sort of ceilinged cavernous room. There is a low, thin mist which clings to the floor of this cave, and the wall glistens with a moisture. Several sets of crude bronze manacles are anchored to the walls, and 3 hold haggard human captives. The captives appear to be unconscious, although they groan and writhe slowly. A steady breeze blows towards a passage to the west, while from the east comes the distant sound of running water from where you came.
Would it be described as moist in here?
It's kind of like damp and sort of humid, and it's like a mixture between hot and cold, and damp and, as you say, moist. So
Sure. Okay.
And a breeze from the west.
East, where we came.
Nope.
a breeze from the west.
Water from the
Water.
east.
Oh, okay.
Breeze from the west.
Okay. 3 captives unconscious.
Mhm.
I would like.
You can't see you can't really tell from here what they look like or like what they're wearing, and sort of this.
Sure.
Even though
Or what
the mist
their
is
tokens would be like. Or...
Right. Then I'm gonna keep going. I'll use my bonus action to dash. Yeah.
Picturing him just dashing by all these unconscious people.
Yeah, I think they'll keep. It's got
Yeah.
it's just like a refrigerator in here. It's moist and cool, and it's what there's air circulation. I think they'll keep.
Somehow combat time has turned into our backline character dashing into an unclear room.
Filled with restrained people.
85 feet in front of anybody else in the party right now.
Yeah.
Look, you wanted me to use fucking resources. I'm using resources. My dash resource.
Well, and he's in a globe of darkness, so I mean it's mostly like there's just this inky wave coming through the room. It's not like anything's gonna like really notice him.
Sure. You guys just describe, apart from Chakolth, what it is you guys are doing.
I'm running after Chakolth.
Yeah, I'm also going 30 feet towards Chekhov.
60. It's Chakolth, not Chakoff.
Chakolth.
Chakolth.
Chekhov.
Chakolth, isn't it?
Chakolth, yeah.
Chakolth. Okay.
I have 70 speed, so I can get to there.
Sorry, just give me. I'm just trying to find my token that I just made.
Sure.
There we go.
How rude! You're having to make tokens on the fly. We are such shits.
Anyone else see the ginormous spider legs sticking out from the top of the stairs?
Whoa. Why are people moving? Why are people moving? Go back to wherever
okay.
you were.
Sorry. I thought
Sorry.
you were wanting me to take my turn.
No, it's okay. So, Chakolth, you walk. Did you say you dash?
Okay, so
you-
Yeah,
here's,
you said he
well,
dashed.
hold on.
Hey,
Yes, I
what?
did. Hold on. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I do want to be clear on is that this is a limitation of the way that the line of sight with the darkness system this works, right? So I'm moving progressively. I don't want to, from a player perspective, I don't want to go, I move 5 foot, what do I see? I move 5 foot, what do I see? I move 5 foot, what do I see?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, so yes, after I completed my first 30 foot where I could see into there and couldn't see anything, I continued to move in using my bonus action.
I know dash is the term because that's how you get extra movement. But do you actually dash into the room, or
No,
are you
I'm
like
just-
still
I'm
moving at
moving-
a steady pace?
I'm moving at my, whatever you want. I'm using a dash action, so I guess I'm moving a little bit faster than I would be normally,
That's
but
fine.
that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so as you get into, you can see where the number 5 is.
Yeah.
A pit opens up beneath you,
Okay.
and you fall 10 foot down.
Okay.
So as you fall down, you take 5 bludgeoning damage, I guess, from the floor.
Okay.
And then this creature appears. If you want to know do you want to know sort of like what it is in terms of if you have seen it before, or?
No, I just like to be eaten by it. Yes, I'd like to know what it is.
Okay, if you want to roll like a history or a nature, and I can sort of see. At the moment, you see it as it's like a corroded, metalish colored.
It eats you.
Insectoid kind of creature that's like the size of a small pony. It's got these 4 insect-like legs, a humped body. Its hide is quite thick and lumpy with a yellowish tan, and it's got these 2 long antennae. You know these as rust monsters. They have a weak bite. They attacked anyone who had metal. However, with their antenna, they could turn even magical metal items into rust.
Did any of us see him go?
Not in line of sight.
We had this
Okay.
discussion about keeping our combat buffs. All right, I'm done.
So it's going to make 2 bite attacks at you.
Disadvantage.
18 and 11.
Is it rolling at disadvantage? Can it see me through darkness, in other words?
It's got dark vision. That doesn't count, does it?
No.
So 15?
No.
Oh, I see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it's Dolphidius' turn.
Okay. So we're not aware that any of this has happened.
How would you react when you are falling in a pit, Chakolth? Are you going to scream or like
No.
it's sound, or do you just sort of go? Is it like a oh? It's
I
okay.
imagine it happens pretty damn quick, and then suddenly I am otherwise concerned with this thing.
What's the sound of a armored body falling 10 feet and slamming into a rust monster?
You want to roll perception to see if it?
Yeah,
I think that's more reasonable, 'cause
I'm just like, honestly, I don't feel like we necessarily know, given that he just dashed into another room.
We had this discussion first, Dolphin. Like we
That was out of character though.
Yeah, that was
in
out of
character,
I'm
while
saying
we
in
were
character,
You know
dragged
you-
under the
another
water
room
and
that I
stuff.
don't
You
know
realize
about.
that out of
you
character.
ran into another room.
In character, I can't see you fighting some guy in another room. You know what I mean?
It's all right. I'll
It
handle it.
seems like maybe I heard at 23 perception. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe.
Tim
That
and
was-
Dolphin hear the sort of the sound of sort of moving earth, and as the pit sort of breaks open, and you can hear the sort of thud, and then this strange sort of creature sound as it assaults your friend.
Okay.
That was the same combat round that we all did stuff in. That was the same 6 seconds that we killed 2 water elementals. You ran into a different room and fell into a pit.
Yeah.
So we don't
I'm
necessarily
contributing.
I
know.
muttered to myself, "Oh God, not something else," and I dashed the 60 feet or so over in that direction.
Sure.
And at this point, I believe I have vision of at least
Yep.
the giant hole in the ground. And I
No, you don't.
I
It's
learned
covered. It's covered by darkness.
Yeah, it's
wait,
a
wait.
sphere.
Oh, okay. I see a dark.
You can see,
in the ground. I
yeah, you
don't
can see a big
hole, I just see
plume
a
of darkness coming out of this pit, also sort of blending in with the mist on the floor. And you're like,
I don't think he'd know there's a pit. How would he see that?
well, yeah,
he
you
heard
wouldn't-
something
you
fall.
Can just, sure. You can
I
see,
hear something fall and I see some darkness, and I let my team know something bad's going on.
Maybe. Maybe I tripped.
Maybe? Question mark.
Yeah, like it could just be Chakolth in the darkness tripped again.
At the end of my turn, I yell, "How you doing, Chakolth? Good."
How do you actually walk without tripping on things if you can't see
Because
through
I
dark?
can see through it.
Oh, right. That's true.
Oh, and I'll use my bonus action to bring my dagger closer to me.
Dash is your bonus action.
Oh, dash is my bonus action. Okay, so the dagger's chill.
Oh no, I'm wrong. Dash is your action. I'm sorry, you do have your bonus action. That's my
Alright,
mistake.
so, yeah.
As the
How far can it move?
as one of the
How far does it move? Let me double check.
20.
Somebody else can
20 or
continue.
25, one or the other.
as one of the members of the party trained in frontlining, I'm going to move carefully forward, clearing the area in front of me to make sure that it's safe for the party to move through.
Yeah, because that's your typical way of
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? That's Tim's MO.
Okay. Kevin.
You know, I realize that at double speed, I still waddle. I waddle
You got haste.
just
Remember?
yeah.
But
yeah.
Dash is your speed again, so you actually have 180 points of
Double
movement
one.
right now.
Okay. I have
No,
180.
20 twice is 50. You have and then 50 twice is 100. I'm sorry, 100. For some reason, I
Right.
had 45 in my head as your base movement. I think that's Tim's base movement.
Or mine is Win Chi. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Ignore that.
10. So my first movement would take me to there. That's
I don't think
50.
that's your first. I think that's 2 of them, right? Because you have
Yeah.
25 base, doubled on haste is 50. So that's your
Right.
action. Your movement's that, and then your action is another 50.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, 10 fives is 50. Yeah,
the,
okay.
The first half of my
Got it.
movement
Got it,
takes
got
me
So
there.
you could probably fall in the pit this turn if you wanted.
if I
to.
wanted to.
And get close.
He doesn't know there's a
Um,
pit.
5,
I
10,
know.
15, 20, 25.
That he doesn't know
30.
about.
Remember to double count spaces you're moving through an ally. So moving through the barbarian, it's going to be.
Right, so I think that's 5, 10. Whoops, shit. 5, 10. Let's redo that. 5, 10,
I believe.
25, 30, 35, and 40. 45 and 50, I think. Is there?
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, actually inside that square.
No, because double space is through Dolphin. So yeah.
Yeah, I did. I counted that as 35 and 40.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Sure. So you move one tile closer. I'm fine with that. Gives you an aura range. That'd be great.
As I see Thaddeus rush past me, I also I watch him going by, and I also just see Tim carefully kind of sweeping around and just carefully looking at the ground in front of him at a much, much, much slower pace.
20, 25,
Okay.
30, 35 and 40, 45 and 50. No, you're right. I'm stuck at the edge of your aura.
Okay. So is it the creature's turn or my turn now?
Do we need to roll real initiative?
No,
Chakolth had like 8 or something.
it's Chakolth first.
That's
It
7.
surprised him.
Okay. Surprised me the first round. Okay.
Mhm.
So now is it my turn or the creature's turn?
Your turn. Your turn.
Okay. 10 foot. I probably can't climb it then.
You kidding? This thing's the size of a pony.
Not the
Jump
creature.
on and hurt.
I mean, you can do whatever you like with your turn. You can attempt to climb this wall if you wish. 10 foot is reasonable to, perhaps
Sure.
be able to climb. Like Kevin said, you could try and pivot off of this creature if you wish. Or whatever you want.
I
Use a
will.
rope.
I will on this turn. Now that I'm not surprised and like, I got a little bit more wherewithal. I'll be like, could use some help down here. There's a pit. Careful. And then I will attempt to deal with this guy here. What do I want to do to him? I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp on him, I think.
Okay.
Okay. It's a 19 to hit.
Yeah. You'll hit
Oh,
him.
if he's a metal creature, this might be really smart.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. So, damage.
12.
Okay. And how big a round is this pit?
Like a 10 by 10 square. Like the one you're in. You see where the number 5 is? It's that whole square.
Okay, so all right, I may have done. That's fine. So there's no. I literally can't get out of here without touching him somewhere. Is that correct?
Or you may be using a rope or, some other... I don't know.
Right, but I have to get out of the pit before I can get away from him physically. Otherwise, I'm touching him
Yes.
pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Okay, that will do it for me then. I think.
Okay.
In fact,
Did
actually,
you roll at advantage?
I didn't. I guess I should for just in case it crit, huh?
You get 3, right?
I don't. Yes, I do. That's a good point. Okay, no crits. Very good point.
All right. Does
Okay.
an 18 hit you?
18 does not. He's rolling at disadvantage, right? And 18
Yep.
does not hit me.
Okay. This thing you can see is like just trying to sort of bite at you as you cast a spell on it. And Dolphidius?
Okay. Do I have vision of it from here? Because the darkness?
Nope.
Okay.
Darkness is kind of weird in this game. It's like the invisibility before Dolphin. If you have a spell that requires you have sight on something, you can't use it. But if an attack spell or an attack roll, you can. It's just a disadvantage. It's kind of bizarre.
Okay, got it.
He actually also can't physically see it because he's not at the edge of the pit.
Right, sure.
Yeah. I'll move up to the edge of the pit.
Mhm.
So next to... Oh, why can't I move my character? There we go.
The edge of the pit is beside the 5.
Yeah, the pit. I can draw the
Oh,
pit for you.
okay. So yeah, I'll actually move up to the side of the pit. Can I see the pit as I move up to it, to be fair? Yeah, whatever. I'll just move up.
Because you're aware of it, you can be like,
Yeah, he said
putting your
be
foot
careful.
forward and
Yeah, I'll be careful as I approach because
Sure.
Filthy specifically said, "Hey, there's a pit here." I'll move up and I'll try to cast Sacred Flame on it.
Okay.
Which will be a disadvantage.
And you can add 4 to your attack roll. Is that true?
Oh wait, so it's not a disadvantage, is it? Because it's a saving throw, so he can just cast it directly on the
Well,
creature.
I
is that
think the
right?
saving throw ones require sight, where the other ones don't. So he needs
Okay.
to read the spell and decide if he can. But you're right. Bless is +4 to an attack roll, or plus
Yeah, we
5d4.
It was I rolled 2, both at 12. So
No, but what I mean is, because that's a spell that requires a saving throw, I think it requires sight, so you might not be able to cast it.
yeah, I have sight. It actually does require sight. Yeah.
Then you can't cast
Yeah.
it.
So you can't
So
cast it.
you
'cause
can't cast that
Yep.
on this creature because you can't see it.
Got it. Let's see.
We did not use the +4 to our attacks
No,
against the water elementals. We forgot the +4 from blast for attacks.
it's a d4, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep.
Shame that fight was so hard.
Yep.
Let's see. Apparently, I don't. Toll the Dead doesn't appear to require
It's the same
any
type.
sight.
Does it say?
Sorry?
It's the same type of attack. I'm not 100% sure on that. I guess we can double check in the break. What would you like
Yeah.
to roll for this? I'm pretty sure it's another DC check, and I'm pretty sure DC checks require sight, but I'm not 100% sure on that. What do you want to roll for this, Adam?
You want to do perception and see if you can see it?
Okay.
Sure.
If you think that's fair, I think that's all right.
It says it doesn't.
That's fine. You can cast it. So it makes a dex save.
Wisdom save for Toll the Dead.
Oh, you're going to use that instead of Sacred Flame?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's
Do
it
I
going to
need
be?
to roll someone for that?
What's the DC?
12.
Okay, so it takes the full damage because it's already been damaged.
Dolphin, your DC should be 15. Right?
Should it?
Don't you have 18 wisdom?
Yeah.
Then your DC
Sorry, on
is...
the sheet it just says 12.
Well,
That's
that's the
fine, it makes it
damage
even
is
harder.
the 12. The DC is basically how hard it... So if you
It
click on
says
your spell
spell
page...
save. It says spell
Yeah,
save
it says
DC.
DC 12.
12. I'm just telling you what it says on the sheet.
Okay. You should update that.
It does have wisdom 18, but I'm just saying what it says there.
Yeah, you have DC 15. Or your spell DC is 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your stat modifier.
So it's Tim's turn as this thing takes Chakolth, you can see its metallic sort of rusty skin and armor sort of begin to almost melt and fade as its skin sort of takes this necrotic damage from the spell.
Okay.
I will cautiously move in. Do I see any traps or anything like that as I
There's
You
a,
come down this
see-
corridor?
there's a
You
pit
can
trap.
sort of barely see the form of Dolphidius kind of casting this spell into, it looks like the floor to you, in this plume of darkness around him.
Well, it sounds like we're having a great time. All right, I will hold my action.
Kevin?
And what are you holding it for?
If
you have
anything
to have a
comes
trigger.
up to me to attack me, I will attack it. If I see any enemy, I will frostbolt it. Whatever it's called, Ray of Frost it as well.
Okay.
All right,
Kevin?
and it's me.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I'm going to move forward to the edge of the pit
Mhm.
and say, what the hell? I don't even know what he's fighting. I can't even see the bottom of the pit, can I? This could be 100 feet deep.
You can roll perception to see, like, if you want, how well you can see into the stars. Because we know that you can still swing, but you can't really see, much at all.
So there's a chance I could.
Well, yeah, in the
pierce
same way
this
that, in the
darkness
same way
well.
Dolphin did that to be able to cast his spell, you could do that to be able to do, I don't know, whatever action it is you want to try and do.
How tall
What
is
is it,
this
you know-
thing
what-
that's the
what,
size
like-
of a pony?
If you could see into the pit normally, what would you do now, Kevin?
I would position myself above this pony and try to hit it in the head from
Okay,
the
you-
rim.
You won't be able to reach unless you threw it.
Well, except he's pony size and I can
10
lean
feet
in.
down.
Right, so that puts him 5 feet toward me. I thought I could maybe lean in and get his head. No?
I don't think so.
All right, then
There was a hint in the DM's voice. A word he used, a specific word.
yeah, what, melee? Like I could throw something at him.
No.
And I don't think I have a spell that is worth burning on this guy. All right, so I think I will just throw my hammer at him, and I only
Okay.
get one of those, right? Even with haste.
You want to roll perception to see if you see him? Well enough to do that. Or I guess we just treat it like normal, right? It's just a disadvantage. Is that what it
It's
is?
just at disadvantage.
So we'll
yeah.
just do it. Yeah, let's just do that.
Just flinging it into the pit and trying to hit him at disadvantage. 10.
Okay, so you swing and the hammer hits the wall just above this creature. You can recall it back to yourself this turn if you need to.
Yep, I'll use a bonus action to. I get to add D4 to that attack.
What? Oh, right.
You.
Yeah,
That would
because he's
still
blessed.
miss.
He's blessed. Okay.
And then Chakolth, you see this hammer fly down, completely miss this creature, and then spin back and fly back up.
And I couldn't do a second attack, or I could, but I couldn't recall it. How would that work?
I guess
with haste.
I guess with haste, I'll allow you to do it twice, because we'll say that you're you're being able to do it quicker.
So I
Still an
could
disadvantage on.
throw it and recall it both.
Throw,
Okay.
recall, and throw again, I think.
Yeah, you could only recall it once because that requires a bonus action. Well, I guess you.
But you
yeah,
could throw, recall, and throw. Because you have an
Right, that's
extra attack with haste.
That's what I was asking, is whether I get the both recalls. I was trying
No.
to clarify that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'll throw a second time.
That's a hit.
Okay, so I don't need to add the die 4 to that. All right. I'm gonna do the damage, and I don't think I'm gonna add a smite to that. I don't even know what I'm attacking at this point.
Okay, so the hammer comes spinning out of the darkness again. Chakolth slams this creature in the head, and you see it just kind of slump down onto the floor, dead.
Look out below!
I actually just shout up. I'm like, that's another one for Thaddeus, Tim. And then I'll say, can you guys give me a hand out of this pit? Perhaps toss a rope down. Is that rope? We have a let's bust out our new climbing rope.
Can you turn off this infernal darkness?
Ah, Thaddeus.
Barbarian, can you start counting Thaddeus's kills for him? He's at 10. And you can do the next ones.
I'll pop my amulet back in my shirt for this round then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I guess I will disable my aura 2 seconds. Okay. And can I climb out of the pit with preferably the aid of our climbing rope?
Yeah. So what does that do?
Gives us advantage on climbing it. And it also can climb walls on its own, but here is just tossing it down. It gives us advantage to climb out of it.
That's
Lo,
cool.
there are prisoners amongst us. Look sharp, lads.
I turned the
Yay.
darkness back on. No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead and roll climb.
So
Is anyone going to help?
No.
it's really hard down to climb this 10-foot thing with ropes that
You
has
can-
fucking handholds and feet holds in it.
So you grab a hold of the rope and you feel yourself very secure, but you just can't quite get your first foot off the floor. Like you keep slipping. 'cause it's
Gravity
quite
seems
moist
real
down here.
intense down here.
Are we still in combat rounds?
Yeah.
Well, not really, but you guys asked for it, so
Right. So the question is
have that.
whether I keep running and try to still use combat, or whether I help him out of this damn pit.
We help him out of the pit.
Right.
I
So-
can't see in there, and I'm not going to make any attempt. These are prisoners, you said?
there are people manacled to the wall that seem to be unconscious, but writhing and moaning.
Could either
I'll-
be like BDSM club of some sort, or possibly prisoners. Yeah, probably my first two guesses.
So I'll grab the rope and try to haul him out of there.
Okay,
Or
you want to
like
make a
Guard dogs who don't realize they
Strength
have to
check.
start.
strength? Sure, that's fine.
Oh, and I rolled that at disadvantage. Sorry.
That's
So-
okay. The 23 is fine. So Chakolth's got a hold of the bottom of the rope, but he can't get his feet on the bottom for some reason. He's slipping and sliding. And you kind of peer down and see that he's got a hold of it, and you just sort of in one, Thaddeus dwarven motion, just sort of go, and you pull with such strength, he just lifts off the ground, and as he comes up, you kind of pull him towards you and grab him and just sit him down on the edge.
Well done, dwarf.
Well done, pit finder.
I have neutralized the pit trap.
So I think my spiritual weapon's probably gone. We can probably get rid of that token.
How long does it last?
A minute.
A minute.
Yeah, it's okay.
My character's uneasy, not seeing. He's used to basically seeing the spiritual weapon as it disappears. So with the fact that it's disappearing without him seeing it, part of him still thinks it might actually still be out there somewhere, and he finds that disconcerting. uh, in character.
There's a shard of my god left behind.
Yeah, it's kind of like the serious implication of object permanence. I kind of look around the room. And I try walking up to one of the unconscious bodies. Is there anything that I have to roll for?
Okay, so which one do you go up to?
I'll walk up to the one on the left.
The one with
All
the
right.
booby trap.
And I'd like to, as I walk up to it, I turn towards Thaddeus and say, "See, there are people that we can help here." And I look like I thumbs up and I stand inappropriately happy and smiling next to this unconscious, wriggling body,
I'm gonna
proud of the
I'm
ones
gonna
we
point out to
found.
Thaddeus as he's doing that one pit trap. There's probably more. We should be careful around this room.
Okay, so you inspect this person, and you can kind of see that this looks like maybe one of the residents from a nearby town, or maybe one of the farmers, fishermen, whatever it might be. This guy is he's kind of like manacled up, but his arms are like raised up, and above that are like pins holding manacles up. So they look like very easy to get down. It's just that the prisoners can't reach them to get themselves out of these manacles.
I'll help reach them. I'm a great climber. Yeah.
That's the best part of the rope of climbing. I just realized that this is like a stepping stool for Thaddeus. Anytime we come up to like a sink or something that's a little bit too high for him, like rope of climbing, and he deploys up the wall and he climbs up one ladder rung on it. So amazing.
Why can't I reach this bar? Who designs these bars this way?
This is not Dwarven manufacture. This is not to code.
This is not up to code.
That's right.
Funny.
All right. So do they look like they're fine? I mean, they're unconscious, in pain, but probably all right.
Oh, if this
You
one
want to
looks
make a medicine check on one of them or something?
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, I'll make a deception check. Okay.
modern medicine.
You have no knowledge at all, really, of like checking people's wounds and seeing
They
if they're
look
okay.
fine to me.
Oh, Chakolth says they look fine. Let's keep moving.
We can come get them later. They're not gonna go anywhere.
So, which ones do you inspect? Like so far, Dolphin's gone over to the left one. Does anyone look at the other two? What was everyone else doing right now?
I want to test this corridor.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Traps.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm just going to be checking the next corridor for traps. I don't trust Chakolth anymore.
Okay.
I'm actually going to take soft things out of my bag and put them on sharp corners in this corridor. Anything near head height.
Can you describe what kind of soft thing Tim would carry that he could apply to a sharp
He can just
surface?
use that putty he keeps between his ears.
Any cloth, maybe the scalp from an animal or human.
Sure. Okay. Kevin, what about you? What are you doing?
I was gonna head the direction that Tim is headed because there's a breeze that way, but I think since I see him headed that way, I will head north and check the prisoners. And I'm still hasted, I think. Is that true?
Okay.
For like 30 seconds, yeah.
Roll perception as
15,
you
20,
look at
25.
the.
I'm going to choose to drop haste on Thaddeus.
Okay.
That stuns him.
As he's walking.
Doesn't that
Yeah.
immediately make him like super tired and lethargic?
For
and
6
fall
Yeah,
seconds.
asleep?
he loses our
See.
entire round when a taste ends.
For 6 seconds, he like reels a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So I manage how much of my movement?
So you get all the way up to this guy at the top, and you're like, you're about to sort of go up to him and check if he's okay, and then all of a sudden this wave of tiredness hits you, and you kind of just like fall on the spot onto the floor, crash onto your shield.
A stabilizing
hammer
hand so he
clangs
doesn't fall
against
into the pit behind him. Kind of give him a little push as he falls forward.
Yeah, this thing's like only like maybe like half a foot deep.
So
It's
for like a
to me,
dwarf,
just-
like a fatal fall.
yeah, like Thaddeus could definitely trip over that.
So I can do nothing else. I can't even like I want
No, that's
as I
that's
was
how that works. You missed a turn.
right. So even walking up there, I don't get to roll a perception about the people I was walking past?
No.
Is what I'm asking.
No.
Sure, you can. Yeah, but
Okay.
you're only going to get to action that as you wake up.
Okay, so I'm going to have glanced at those people as I'm walking to them.
So you walk past the first guy, and you can see that there's like a tattoo representing what you guys sort of associate with the fire cult emblazoned on his neck. And you go up to inspect the second guy to see if that's the case, and that's when you fall unconscious. Do you guys actually start both running? Can I take this turn order down now?
Yeah, I think we take the turn order down.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend long here. I'm now that they're cultists. I would like to. Okay, we need to see if they're okay to stay here. I don't want them with us as we explore the rest of this downstairs, but I do think they're valuable to keep alive and let out after this. So, how do we do that efficiently? So, will one of you guys come give a hand and have a look to see if
Tim hears the word cultist.
Tim, you're not in charge anymore. We're planning this. Let's do some planning.
You already moved. Get back where you belong.
These are
You're just free and moving now.
Oh, that's true.
These are useful. We can. I walk up to Tim and I quietly confer with him for a second in case the cultists are faking it and being like, "These are members of the fire cult."
Oh no, I'm not trying to kill them. Tim wants to play the fire cult against the water cult.
Yes, exactly.
This is our chance.
Yes, but not yet. Let's finish clearing this area and come back. Because right now we don't have to watch them. We don't have to guard them. They're not going anywhere. As long as they will physically survive until we're back, they are really well taken care of right now. Right? No?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't stay there again, but I guess they look comfortable. Comfortable enough.
Perfect. So let's maybe. Can you send the bird out a little bit? Maybe do a little bit of exploring, and we can check the northern stuff and figure out what else is down here.
Sure.
When I recover, I'm going to stumble to this area and pretend like I'm able to actually guard it, just in case something comes, even though I'm still weak in the knees.
Okay.
While everybody else is busy, I'm gonna quietly, because you said it was actually not that hard to get this guy unchained on the top left wall. So while nobody else is really paying attention to me, because I feel for kind of this guy, given that I was in the same situation as him.
Basic Cuban empathy is not allowed in this party.
I know, right? I unchain him from the wall. And again, I do this kind of quietly to myself because I know everybody else might protest.
So you take the pin out, and he's still manacled together.
Yeah, and he's still unconscious and everything. So I kind of like lay him on the ground and I kind of like wrestle him, like not wrestle him, but settle him against the floor and the wall. And I use prestidigitation. I just make a very simple symbol of a set of stairs and then an arrow leading up next to it. So basically in my head, it's just like if he wakes up in the next hour while we're not there or something like that, he has at least a little symbol that's like go upstairs.
So you like carve it into the floor kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay,
kind of thing. Yeah.
that's really cool. I like that. All right.
Odds that this guy wakes up, hates the cultists, kills them while they're still manacled up, and screws us, 99%.
He gets eaten by a troll.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh, we didn't
that's why I
warn
didn't
about
ask you. That's why I didn't ask you guys.
Sure. Okay, well, we'll go. I'll follow Thaddeus up this corridor.
Or at least reveal it.
Yeah. Sorry. Hang on.
No worries. You've got a big job.
Okay, so we are coming up to a little bend here.
I really need a second monitor.
Yeah.
It's handy.
They are good.
I'm continuously sad that I miss the Skype piece in order to stare the map.
Oh,
Yeah, so you see another set of stairs and this sort of patch of... What the hell is even that? Hang on. Yeah, it's like it's like a dark shroud of just black smoke. Not like...
Probably natural in origin, right?
Not like the darkness spell, but it's almost like a hanging, just black curtain of smoke.
Thaddeus, do you like barbecue?
I don't like the look at that at all. I'd rather go where the fresh air is to the west.
Well, that would finish the eastern passage. Let's do west. Let's do the western stairs. I agree. Alright. So we'll follow. I'll head over to Tim. I'm hoping
Okay.
this takes less than 10 minutes, but let me know if it doesn't, because we're doing this fairly quickly.
Oh, is that with your thing is still running?
Yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even notice the guy on the fucking floor. I thought that I would wander right past him and notice him.
The mist has like sort of shrouded him slightly, and you just don't see him as you walk.
Okay.
Okay. You guys come up to this corridor?
Yep.
I'm slightly horrified when I walk up to the corridor and I see just bits of animal scalp, like just kind of pasted on the wall everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't say anything because I don't want to be rude, but I am just immediately horrified.
You'll get used to Tim.
So, Dolphidius, would you prefer I was in the back to guard us or in front because I know what I'm doing?
I look at the bits of scalp and I look back at you and I say, in the front.
All right.
So
Forward. Come to the bottom of the stairs. Have a look up, please.
Yeah. Oops.
I'm staying far enough back in case there's more pit traps. Okay.
You can kind of see a actually no, not until you go upstairs.
How do we want to scout up?
We'll scout up by me walking up the stairs.
Perfect. I like your assertive attitude, Kevin. It always gets us places.
Yes, agreed.
A stone pedestal in the middle of this cavern holds a glassy sphere about 8 inches in diameter. The sphere seems to contain swirling smoke. Battered armor, damaged weapons, and tattered clothing are strewn around the chamber. But the floor within 10 feet of the sphere is free of such debris. Several weapons on the ground seem like they might still be serviceable, although all are badly worn.
Uh-huh.
Fireball?
I was gonna say, are there any small rocks nearby?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Throw
got-
a
hold
rock at
on.
a glass sphere.
Hold on. I will cast.
I just grab one and I kind of like look at it, and that's the only thing I do so far.
All right, I'm gonna cast Misty Vision rather, right there. So I create a silent image, which is basically a better illusion, and I'm gonna walk it across. Fuck no, I'm not. I lied because it will fuck up my concentration. Never mind. I'm not doing that. The rocket is. No.
So in character, you look at me with the rock and you nod knowingly.
I'm like, go ahead. This seems like a brilliant idea.
So
I'm gonna shelter behind Thaddeus just a little bit, like hunch
Wait,
down.
I'm going to reach out an arm in front of him and kind of.
At least, yeah, go on.
Wait, before you do that, do we have any better ideas? Should we just ignore this? Why are we meddling with it? It clearly eats things.
Well, that's why we're not ignoring it.
Well, let's see. So we have
You
a
didn't eat things within 10 feet of it. Let's just not get near it.
Presumably, it does more than that.
So I look at him and I nod, agreeing, and then I quickly chuck the rock, but I chuck it clear of the sphere, so I'm not chucking it at the sphere. I'm actually not even trying to chuck it that close to the sphere, maybe like 7 feet, like clear than more than like 5 feet away.
I've got
Roll a d20 plus your dex modifier.
Sure.
I know what I want to do.
To see if the target actually goes in the direction you want.
Do you need me to roll that manually? D20 plus.
Yeah. I don't think there's a way of doing that, is there? Okay. 18. Okay, yeah, so you throw the rock perfectly precisely in the direction you want, and it pings past the orb. And there's a moment of like that palatable tension as the rock flies past it. It's almost like as if it was being recorded, this would be in slow motion. And then it fires off and hits the wall. And there's just this ping.
All right, I cast Mage Hand, and I push the orb off the pedestal.
Wow.
What's the range on that?
That's a good question.
Wait a minute. Would you back up? Say that again and let me see Adam's face, because I was looking at the map and I'm sure that was probably.
Get a second monitor. Can't redo it.
Hand lasts for duration, so you can use such to manipulate.
Does it weigh more than 10 pounds? 'Cause that would be the limitation.
Yep. You see the hand try to grab or lift or move it in any way, and it seems unable to do that.
Well, your hand's probably stronger than that, Thaddeus. Do you want to go?
I will instead use Divine Sense.
We just need a long stick. We need a
Can I just
11-foot
does
pole.
this look like something that I, as a wizard, would have any familiarity with? Can I just like?
No.
Can my
You can
character just
roll-
use his brain?
You can roll Arcana.
I'm going to use Divine Sense. Celestial Fiend, Undead, Consecrated, Desecrated.
Is there any rubble or parts of that armor or equipment that is less than 10 pounds?
Sure, there's like pieces of broken sword and like the rocks.
I'm going to
that
move some
Dolphidius
broken
picked up.
sword. I'm going to have the mage hand pick it up and move it around the orb.
Okay. So you all see this like ghostly hand in the visage of Chakolth's own sort of pick up this piece of blade, and it swirls around in this like this ghost mist kind of follows it in the slow trail. It's almost as if it's almost doing like an incantation or some sort of ritual. And how long does it do this for?
It's just doing this until something else changes.
Okay, so
Tim's gonna
nothing
disappear for a second while you guys are doing this.
Like leave, not go invisible, right?
Right.
Okay. So, do I sense Celestial Fiend, Undead, Consecrated, Desecrated, anything like that? Use a Divine
Chakolth's
Sense.
shield glows with a sort of celestial aura, and there's a very, very, very pale version of that aura on him, but it's much, much weaker than you've ever seen it before. It's almost as if it's
Dormant?
severely diminished, or perhaps dormant, or weaker, whatever you might interpret that as. In terms of the place in front of you, you don't see anything like that.
How long is our trident?
10 feet.
It needs to be 1 foot longer.
Well,
So what's Tim doing now?
I refuse to be afraid of a little glass ball. I think I'm just going to ignore it and move on.
All right. So Tim comes back. Hey guys, I figured we only needed one of the fire cultists anyway. Here's something you can throw at it. And
I like it. I'm in for that.
I have one of the fire cultists with me.
Perfect. I think that's a good idea. I second it strongly. Good thinking, Tim. Quick on your feet as always. Let's give it a go. This is what we'll use the trident for. We'll drop him just outside the 10-foot radius, and then we'll use the trident to push him in.
I see Tim shuffling this half-conscious cultist up past the patches of flesh and scalp that he's pasted all over the wall, and start to understand the darker picture of the party.
So you see this hunched over like guy in this red garbed robe, and like Tim's arms are like underneath his sort of belly, and he's just sort of dragging him slowly towards the entrance here, and you can just sort of hear every sort of time he goes up a step, there's like a chug, and the arms dig into the guy's chest, and he sort of just goes as you take him up the stairs. And what are you going to do with this fire cultist?
We're going to put him
Steve?
at 11 foot outside of the radius of this orb, and then we're going to use the trident like it's a broom or like a shovel, and we're going to push him into the 10-foot radius and see what happens.
Why not just throw him?
I wanted to
Chakolth
use the
doesn't have
trident.
any strength. It doesn't occur to him that we could do that.
Yeah.
It's okay, Thaddeus. Let him do it his way.
But he will puncture the cultist.
I'm not poking him with the pointy bit. I'm like nudging him with it. Like the flat of the blade, kind of. Except it's a trident.
We could always make that softer, like any pointy parts of the
Or I could
walls.
use any other object. It's not, as long as I'm outside the 10-foot radius, I'm okay with it.
So,
I want to say my character's morally horrified by everything going on.
so while they're being like goofy, I'd like to across to the western. Where's the breeze coming from? Is it still coming from the west?
Yep.
I'm going to just cross, and can you reveal the west a little bit for me, please?
Sure.
So I'm not convinced I'm interested in arcane shenanigans.
While Chakolth is pushing the body in and Thaddeus is over there, I'm going to take shelter behind this wall.
It's not a body yet. It's a person still.
Somebody write that down and put it like in the comments or something. That's probably top of the shittiest Chakolth things ever said.
I'm just standing there, watch mortified.
I'm having my mage hand as I'm doing this. Give me a big thumbs up.
Barbarian, get down!
Don't move.
So, you just go straight ahead and do that? Like
Yes.
You push him in? Okay, hang on one
Yeah,
second.
I'm not entering that 10-foot radius. I'm using the trident and I'm trying to push him into it with that.
You want to make a melee attack to
Yes.
push him with the trident.
Would I roll at advantage?
D20 plus your strength. You're not proficient with the trident, so it's a disadvantage.
Fucking game rules. All right, sure. D20 plus my strength, so a -1. Perfect. And let's do that again. 12.
Okay, so you all see, well, except maybe Kevin, Shackle sort of move back and like push forward with the trident to kind of get the guy to go, that extra little bit, and the guy just sort of falls over straight flat onto the floor.
I thought he was on the floor. I'm just trying to roll him. I thought he was
Oh, I
placed on
see.
the floor to roll him
I
with the
thought you
trident.
were like standing him up and then like pushing him
So
into the.
before,
No, I wasn't. I was just leaving him on the outside. So I'm not trying to have him fall forward into it. I put him on the floor. I'm just like pushing him with it, like you would like a broom.
Oh, okay. So
I've
you,
never
like,
attack
keep
rolled
him
by
forward.
floor before, but I'll think of that next time I'm sweeping.
Okay, so the body rolls forward. Like again, you have that palatable amount of tension. Like it rolls forward 1 foot, and then that extra couple of inches to get into range as you perceive it, and then nothing happens.
Tim, you could go get him now if you want. Fucking orb. We should have just broke it to begin with. If
Identify yourself, please, speaker.
Next time this is gonna be our keep. I want these orbs everywhere. I don't want them magical. I just want them black and annoying, and we'll put them all over the fucking corridor. An invading army would take hours trying to discover what they do, and we'll have time to respond. It will be the perfect decoy.
throw it on the rock. No, I'm relieved that the cultist isn't dead.
The spell magic has to be prepared.
Yeah.
I can detect magic.
It's magical.
Well, I can find out.
It's magic. It's not regular smoke.
All right. Well, this is probably a good part to
magic.
good time to cut the part. Maybe we'll take the break and have a minute to think of some ideas. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.